Solve problem 3-46, and we have a crate hanging, and they don't want the tension of the cable to exceed 3 kilonewtons. So the question is, what is the weight of the crate? The crate is suspended by a rope. It goes like that, and 2 ropes to the side. So I'm going to call this FD. I'm going to call this one FC, and this one FB. Now conveniently they made 2 of the forces easy to put in components because they're along the axis. So if we say FC is equal to FC in the J, and that's going that way, so it's negative J. So FB is equal to FB in the I direction, and that's the positive I. W is equal to W, negative W in the K direction. It's going straight down. And the difficult one is FD here. So FD, we're going to find, we're start finding position D, and then magnitude D, and then unit vector D, and then we'll find FD equals the vector FD, magnitude FD, dot the unit vector D. All right. So the position vector is negative 2 in the X, positive 2 in the Y, and 1 in the Z. So negative 2 in the I, plus 2 in the J, plus 1 in the K. And 2 squared plus 2 squared plus 1 squared is 4, plus 4 plus 1 equals 9. The square root of 9 is 3. And so the unit vector is negative 2 divided by 3 in the I, plus 2 divided by 3 in the J, plus 1/3 in the K. Now we'll multiply it by the FD, which is just FD because we don't know what it is yet. So it's negative 2/3 FD in the I, plus 2/3 FD in the J, plus 1/3 FD in the K. Now let's add the forces. So sum the forces in the X equals 0, and in the X direction we have FB, and we have the I component there, so minus 2/3 FD. And if we sum the forces in the Y direction, we have FC, and that's negative. And we have the Y component of FD. And if we sum the forces in the Z direction, we have, gotta put our zeros in there, right? So we have negative W down plus 1/3 FD. So now we have 3 equations, 3 unknowns. You could put in a calculator solve or do it by hand. I'm going to start with this one. So FD equals 3W. And then this one here, FB is equal to, move that to the other side, 2/3 FD, but FD is 3W. So FB is 2W. And this one, move FC to the side, so FC is 2/3 FD, which is again 3W, which is 2W. So we have FD equals 3Ws, FB and FC both equal 2W, so we want to find no cable can exceed 3 kilonewtons. So the highest force is in FD. So 3W cannot exceed 3 kilonewtons. So W is equal to 1 kilonewton.